Well, for more on the challenges facing companies like ZTE in expanding their businesses abroad, we're joined by Jean Baptiste Su, live from New York. He's a principal analyst at Atherton Research, a global technology research and advisory firm. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Rachelle. Good to be here.
Now, as we know, ZTE reshuffled its leadership to ensure better oversight of its export controls in light of the case. But how is all this affecting ZTE's operations and finances?
Yeah, so we believe that at Atherton Research that actually the $900 million fine, the $300 million additional is actually if the U.S. finds out that ZTE is not compliant. So the $900 million fine, we have little to no financial impact on ZTE. So what's going to happen is that they're going to raise additional debt to pay for the fine. Currently, the debt of ZTE is over $4 billion. So an additional $1 billion will not really move the needle, believe it or not.
So now that ZTE has pled guilty, though, what's the best strategy for them to move past this and really regain any of the credibility that it lost?
Right. So first is to make sure that they're compliant. So obviously that would have a cost and more complexity, but the upside is that ZTE will be the most U.S. compliant Chinese company in the world, and that has value that we believe the market will reward the company over time.
Now, what can we expect in terms of how other Chinese companies will be treated, perhaps under the Trump administration?
So, you know, the lessons learned there is very clear. If your products use U.S. technologies, you must make sure you abide by U.S. laws. So it was not a fact that the Trump administration was against a Chinese company or a company from a particular country. It was just that ZTE in that case, and probably Huawei is next, did not obey the U.S. law in terms of export of U.S. technologies.
So what are some of the key challenges that Chinese companies face when operating, not just in the U.S., but other countries as well?
Right. You know, look, the Chinese companies are not facing more challenges than any other companies in the world, European companies, Latin American companies. They're actually quite successful in emerging countries and as well as in Europe. Because Chinese companies are providing value to their customers, you know, low-cost products, high quality, and innovative products. So if they continue doing this, then, you know, there won't be any problem. They will still be successful in emerging countries, Europe, and eventually U.S.
Now, we know that President Trump is pushing for more U.S. businesses, basically having things that are manufactured here and creating more jobs here. So how does that play into some of the main challenges that perhaps exist when trying to start a business in the U.S. if you're a foreign country?
Right. I mean, if you're providing a product or service of value, you will succeed in U.S. That's really common sense. And obviously, if you're currently the Trump administration wants to see more products built and made in the U.S. But really, what we believe is if the product that, let's say, a Chinese company is making is providing value to customers, customers will actually vote with their purse or money, and no matter where it's made.
Now, a lot of analysts do expect that a lot of foreign companies will face more scrutiny, especially when it comes to acquiring some of the larger companies in the U.S. What's your outlook for that landscape?
Now, look, you know, the law is the law, and if you're doing business in the U.S., if you're buying U.S. technologies to build your products, you just have to make sure that you're abiding by all the laws. And in that particular case, you cannot just say, well, I didn't know and I forgot. This is actually a very serious case. It's a criminal case. So my suggestion is for companies outside of the U.S. Doing business with U.S. companies, you just have to make sure that you are on the right legal grounds.
Certainly a cautionary tale there. Thank you so much, Jean Baptiste Su from Atherton Research.